After 3 successful movies with the Despicable Me family, they return for their 4th one. This is surely the best news Minions fans have received this year, most especially since Miranda Cosgrove has announced a new villain. Here's a little look at what we might be expecting for the franchise's 4th installment. The 4th, and rumored to be the last of the very hit Despicable Me franchise, is expected to be released in July of 2024, and it is still currently in development. Although sites like IMDb do not have the whole plot yet, this is what we currently know. The cast is still the same, such as Steve Carell as Gru, Kristen Wiig as Lucy Wilde, Miranda Cosgrove, who voices Margot, Steve Coogan as Silas Ramsbottom, who is Lucy's boss, and the former director of the AVL, which stands for the Anti-Villain League, and Dana Geyer as Edith. The cast also includes one of the franchise's executive producers, Pierre Coffin, who has voiced all the Minions, most especially the ones we know for sure: Mel, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob. The movie is directed by Chris Renaud with his co-director Patrick Delage, and is written by Mike White, who has also done a lot of huge movies before, such as School of Rock and the Emoji Movie. One of its other executive producers includes the main director, Mr. Renaud. With that being said, this movie will clearly be one for the books. Well, the truth is, only the staff and the cast have been announced so far, as the plot is yet to be announced. But even so, I am already hyped as it is. However, thinking back on the past 3 Despicable Me films, it seems like Gru's family, with Lucy as his life partner, Edith, Margot, Agnes, and his twin brother Drew, who gets back into the world of villainy, is now operating with Gru, and is finally complete. Thankfully, Miranda Cosgrove, who voices Margot, Gru's eldest daughter, has shared a little of what she knew about the movie franchise. She had mentioned that one of Gru's 3 little precious daughters gets involved in villainy, like how their dad and uncle once were. Now, there are 3 options. Is it the responsible eldest sister Margot, or the savage and sometimes badass Edith, or the innocent and happy-go-lucky baby of the family Agnes, who is still in a never-ending craze with unicorns? Anyway, one of them goes evil, although it does not go in a way that the past self of this specific character goes astray from who they really are, and who they once were. For sure, the new shown side of the character would only excite the audience even more, and would hype up even those who were not actually super fans of the Despicable Me franchise. Also, as with every Minions movie, there are a whole lot of unexpected scenarios and plot twists that we did not know were possible. Quote, "I think it would be super cool if all 3 girls were like Gru, and they took on some of his super villainy. I think that would be cool," Miranda Cosgrove said. Aside from all that super villainy topic, the character of Margot also shared about a possible happening in the movie, which could be about the birth parents of the 3 girls, which of course, not everyone knows about, except for the main staff of the movie, of course. As we all know, all the 3 little precious girls of Gru were adopted. So, do you really think one of the girls would become a villain, or would a new character be introduced? If one of the girls would actually become a villain, what would happen? Would they eventually leave villainy? Would you smash that like and subscribe button? Would Gru have more hair? That and many more. Now, back to the topic. As mentioned earlier, the 4th Despicable Me movie is set to be released in July of 2024, which means that although the movie has already been announced, the fans have to wait for 2 more years to actually see the movie. Illumination already had 2 films that are planned to be able to continue the franchise. The first movie is the Minions: The Rise of Gru, which was able to premiere on the 3rd of July just this year. Of course, we should be able to fully understand why movies like the Despicable Me franchise take a very long time to finish. The Despicable Me films depict the adventures of supervillain Gru, together with his faithful sidekicks, the Minions. Throughout the whole series, we, the viewers, are taken on a trip from Gru's origins as a very young, aspiring villain, pursuing his outlandish adventures to a reformed father and husband. And of course, his priorities have changed together with that. In 2017, when Despicable Me 3 was released, came a new villain, Balthazar Bratt, who was played by Trey Parker. Illumination CEO Chris Meledandri was able to share his plans for the franchise's future. Back then, in 2017, Melandandri's priority within his goals was to create movies that would, quote, make you feel good in a world where so many things do not. And well, I guess we all feel the same way with the Despicable Me movies. With all the plot twists and character reveals in every movie, who would not want to wait for the next one? However, Melandandri believed that building animated franchises could be restricting. He was able to see that Despicable Me 4 was going to be an exemption. Yes, well, the fourth Despicable Me movie was already in development as early as 2017. As mentioned earlier, the plot details of the fourth movie are yet to be known to the public. And of course, it is surely expected to exceed the quality of its predecessors, as well as the expectations of the audience who are not actually into the movie franchise just yet. Remember in the first movie, Gru was still trying to make a name for himself and adopted the three sisters, Margot, Edith, and Agnes, so that he would be able to pull off his latest stunt. With the aid of his small but loyal army of minions, Gru eventually comes to see the three girls as his very own, and he is forced to reconsider his well-known identity as a ruthless villain. And although they first got off on the wrong foot, Gru's journey to create a family has struck a chord with viewers. With unique characters, whimsical storylines, and family-oriented humor, the Despicable Me series is so successful that it has become one of the highest-grossing animated franchises in history. In the second Despicable Me movie, Gru finally has softened his heart for the three girls and is trying to figure out how to provide for his new family. As he struggles to balance with his responsibilities as a father and a villain, the Anti-Villain League, an organization made persevering to fighting evil, comes calling. The AVL sends Gru on a dangerous mission only he can accomplish, to capture the culprit of a unique heist. For who would be better than the world's greatest ex-villain to capture the individual who seeks to usurp his power? Remember when Dr. Nefario left for his new job because Gru did not want to be a villain anymore? I'm pretty sure most of you cried. Because Gru wanted to be a better father for his three kids, Gru makes a decision to work with Lucy, who was still an agent of the Anti-Villain League at the time. In the third Despicable Me movie, Gru discovers from his mother that he has a twin brother, Drew, whom he never met. He soon discovers that Drew was given to his father to raise after their parents had finalized their divorce. When both Gru and Drew meet, they come to realize how opposite they are. Drew is living his best life in luxurious mansions covered in light colors and swimming pools, while Gru, on the other hand, is living his life still unsure of going back to villainy or not, and Drew is a lively person who has a whole lot of hair, opposite of the three kids' father. However, what weighs on his mind is the life of his now wife, Lucy, and their three kids. This all happens before he's fired from the Anti-Villain League for failing to take down the latest villain who threatens humanity. Gru then soon comes to know that behind the bright colors of Drew's mansion lies a hidden secret that he wants to follow in his twins' despicable footsteps, and hitting that subscribe button down below, and maybe pair it up with a notification bell. Let's just do what Gru would do, am I right? Kidding aside, we've got 2 more years to prepare for another Minion-filled motion picture, so buckle up, people, because we're in for a ride. Ready to ride some more? Check out these videos next!